So hello and welcome to Some Boy Online, and today we come at you with a bit of a different video because, as you may or may not know, I'm a bit of a Doctor Who fan. Now, being a Doctor Who fan comes with this kind of a tradition thing of something called B&M sets. Now, to anyone outside the UK, you'll have no clue what I'm talking about, but B&M is basically quite a mundane and boring shop, which for some reason has a partnership with Doctor Who. So the release of these sets is kind of like an event thing that happens once or twice a year, and when they do, you get loads of people running around trying to find them, and it's, you know, on eBay, for example, some of them just went for hundreds of pounds. But I am, at heart, really a collector of Daleks, so I'm going to go and try and get the 2 new Dalek sets that have came out. I'm trying to restrain myself somewhat and not buying everything because I have absolutely no room or the funds for that, but we're going to try and find the Dalek sets today. They are History of the Daleks set 5 and 7. They missed out 6, apparently because those ones are similar and they want to release them at different times. So stay tuned, as today we're going to try and find these sets out in the wild and hopefully manage to get some before the eBay scalpers do. So, if any of you aren't from the UK, welcome to the UK. As you can see, it's pretty bleak and grey. We've just had a bit of a thunderstorm with some lightning, a bit of tree on the road earlier. And obviously, as an emergency, you have to go out and get your Doctor Who B&M set because, you know, priorities, right? First time on the channel doing this kind of almost vloggy thing. I know there hasn't been any Doctor Who content thus far, so some people might be like, what the hell's Doctor Who? But we will have some stuff covering it at some point. There's just been a lot on, you know, with other things.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we have just arrived at the first B&M location, which I'm not going to disclose because you know how the internet is. But regardless, we're going to go and take a look and see what we can find. So, that was a complete failure. We went there, there was just no stock. We went to the part where the Doctor Who stuff usually is. There was absolutely nothing left over from last time, and there certainly wasn't any new things. We also saw there was 2 guys in there that kind of came in and were looking around too, like this, and then left. So, I can only assume they were there for the same reason. I'm going to check if there's any other stores open at the minute because it's getting a bit later. Yeah, we'll have a look and hopefully find something in there.
A few minutes later.
It's 7 o'clock and I thought the B&M stores closed at 9. That one does, but that's like a one-off. Most of them close at 8. So we've got about an hour of time here. So if they're not in the next store, we might be screwed, but we'll have to see. So, that was another huge failure. B&M number 2 was hugely unsuccessful. It wasn't the one that I had in mind at all. They had absolutely nothing. It was just really crap, you know, one of those food-based ones. So we're about 3 minutes away from the other store. It's 7:30. So if we're quick, you know, we might be able to reach another one. I'm not sure.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So, we just came into a B&M store, which has a garden section. They have at least some of the sets, but I'm not sure which ones. It doesn't look to be the ones that I'm looking for. but there's people there arranging the shelves and that. I don't want to jump in the middle of that, so hopefully they kind of lay off and we can go and see what's there with the camera and everything. So we actually found the new Doctor Who figure sets. Just all of them except the two that I wanted. So there's two possible reasons for that. Either the scalpers have gotten there already, which is highly possible because the figures have been out from as early as this morning and it's now, you know, closing time. So that could have happened, or they could have just not gotten stock of the Dalek figures, hence they're not there. But we are literally, what the time is, 10 to 8, and the stores apparently close at 8. So we've got one last store, and that is our last shot of finding the Dalek figure sets tonight. And there's more roadworks, exactly what we need. Be like that scene from Spider-Man Homecoming. But yeah, so we basically went in, there was this dude organising stuff, we didn't know if he was putting them out, and he was exactly where, you know, at work, and he was exactly where the sets are. So then, as you do, we went to the garden bit, which was quite nice, to do that little clip that you saw. But as it turned out, you know, that's all they had, there's no Dalek sets.
Later that same evening.
Here we are, full lovely thingy over there. In fact, no, I was here before once and they had the Dalek sets that time, but we'll go this time. It's not a very big store and we've got like 5 minutes.
Right.
We have toys. So, we've literally just gotten into that last store there, and there was nothing. There was some suspicious looking empty spaces, but no sets. So as you can see in the footage that we got, there was loads of boxes in the toy aisle, which could have been them. I had a quick look, but a lot of them were just other things. Some of them had festive written on them. So likely a mix of Halloween and Christmas decorations, which they are putting out. So regrettably, we're gonna have to, this isn't the end of the video, we're gonna have to continue it another day, perhaps tomorrow.
Several days later.
So since the last video, it's been a few days now. I returned to the first B&M store again, and there is just absolutely nothing. I don't think there's ever been anything in, but it's a huge store that usually gets these all the time. So that's quite annoying. There's no online, you can't give them product codes or anything. You just have to go in the stores and find out, which in 2021 is a bit, you know, it's a bit daft really. Hopefully we can get at least something. You know, I've definitely paid for these in petrol.
Many hours later.
So I return hours later from the previous video. I've basically been around every B&M store again that I went around before, and there's just nothing. The one where they had the figure sets before but not the Dalek ones, they don't even have anything. So it seems like the scalpers have done the round and just went around and got everything. I kind of worked up the courage to ask if they could scan the barcode to see if they had stock. You know, it just looks dodgy, like a 20-year-old man walking around the B&M toys aisle. So she did that, it just showed no stock. I said, is it not possible to check stock surrounding stores? She said no, which I know that it is, because they've done that before. You get the impression from a lot of the store people, just from glances and stuff like that, they're completely aware of the situation. You got lots of geeks coming in and trying to get these things.
Much later.
So again, here I am. Hello. I've travelled the aforementioned further afield distance. It's really dramatic actually, I haven't eaten anything. Oh, I did get this lime Diet Coke. This is what I went off. I was just in the store at one point and thought I just have to buy something. So I'll get noted down as a weirdo for just walking around B&M stores. I think we'll try one more. Why not? We've came this far.
Much later.
I'm just really sick and tired now. This is kind of fun at the beginning. It's just, you know, I'll probably see them in a bit. But I've been around like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. at least 5 B&M stores, maybe 6 or 7, like today. People are saying, oh, will they get them in again if they sell out? And you're like, oh, I don't know, they might not. In which case they go for sky-high prices on eBay. But then you do this, and then you may as well have gotten something off eBay because you've spent that much in petrol or whatever other transport it is trying to get these.
One eternity later.
It is now 6 PM. I've been driving around every B&M store for hours, like within the area at all, and nobody can seem to help. They can't just... Why can't it be like Argos or something where you can check where the stock is, you know? You look and you say, oh, stop there, I'll make the journey. I get the character options, make money from being a partner with B&M, but B&M is like the last store for bloody science fiction collectibles, you know what I mean? Forbidden Planet or something, yes, you'd go there and you'd expect, you know, the employees obviously don't understand. They haven't been trained to deal with that kind of stuff. But it's not really their fault, it's such a stupid situation. The thing is that I'm half expecting them to just get them in my local one, and the aisles are huge, but there's just no Doctor Who stuff. It's just not there.
The following day.
There we have it. We've finally got the sets, and it's what I kind of predicted yesterday. They were just all in the normal store, but there's a bit of a story about that. So yesterday I decided to go on the big massive trek in which I went across all of the northeast looking for these Doctor Who B&M sets, and it was so draining and frustrating. And then I was just lying in bed last night thinking about these goddamn sets and what it would be like to actually find one at B&M. So I wake up, you know, I was actually going to edit a video, and then I just happened to look on the Doctor Who merchandise website, and someone had posted in such and such store, which I'd actually been to yesterday. One of the workers were just taking them out of the box, and I went and asked and got one, so there's loads still there. I was like, oh my god. First of all, it was like a face palm, because I was like, of course. And then a comment below that said, oh yeah, it seems that most of the Dalek sets are kind of circulating today. And I was like, well, oh my god, so I went to rush off there. But before I went and travelled, as that one's quite a fair distance, thought I'll go to my local one, because if the stock's coming out only just now, the deal might have been not that they've been scalped, but that they just hadn't been put out quite yet, because, you know, around the country the sets get distributed at different times, and then that depends on what time the B&M stores distribute them, which is why you get all this hassle. So long story short, I went into my local B&M store this morning, and there was some boxes being put out, so I thought, oh, maybe it's like the other one. Went to the toy aisle where they are, just looked to the left, and instead of just other boxes, lo and behold, there they were. There was absolutely everything that was there, the whole wave. Sorry, a vent has just opened on this building and like projected a large amount of gas into the air. Should I be concerned? There's probably B&M warning other Doctor Who fans away from the stores. Yeah, so at that point I promptly kind of froze, and I was like, I've been thinking about it so much, what happens now? So I ran and actually got a basket because I didn't want to be getting the boxes, and I just kind of kneeled down and looked at them because there's, you know, I always try to quality check things because you get different, you know, paint apps and stuff like that can be dodgy, but these all seem to be really good. I'm sure you can probably see on the video, it just had loads of the history of the Daleks, 5 and 7, and loads of Sensorites and Vord sets. Everything, and there was loads of it. Unless somebody had gotten like 1 or 2, I must have been, it looked like a full stacked shelf. I must be the first person to go in there and get them. So, History of the Daleks set 5 is based on The Power of the Daleks from 1966, which was a Patrick Troughton story, and this directly follows on from the previous History of the Daleks sets from last year. What kind of sticks out to me the most about these is the ear lights are a really accurate colour. Before they were this hideous orange on the early ones, with a different shape, then they got the right egg cut, but they were bright yellow, and I think this coloration just looks really accurate to the prop, which is nice. The eyes look really nice on both figures. You can see the midsection is now the correct grey colour, but if you see along to the back, they haven't actually coloured in the grey behind the mesh kind of thing, which is a big shame because on other figures, you know, that was the case. So that's a shame once again. It's like they take a step forward and another step back. The roundels on these Daleks, I still think are a bit too bright of a blue. If you look at the actual props, I'm sure they were like a dark blue. And I think it's a shame, since these are meant to be like, collectors' accurate sets, that they still haven't made this correction, because I swear down the hemispheres are like almost a navy blue on these ones. You got the power style gun here, and this Dalek here is basically brand new, because it's the mutant scoop one, which there's an Eagle Moss figurine of, and they made a 3.75 inch version, but never a 5 inch. Interestingly, it doesn't have a mutant in the scoop, it's just an empty scoop, but I think that's cool. It's a variant, because the Dalek has the scoop, then it picks up the mutant, so you could make two variants out of that, really. I want to also mention that the ball joints here are a lovely silver, as well as, the main body of the Dalek is a lovely silver colour. And on the left here, it's a basically identical Dalek, but without the mutant scoop. You could also make another variant by taking the ball joint and gun out and having the weaponless version. So the next major Dalek story after this is the Evil of the Daleks, which has actually recently been animated and is going to be released in a few weeks. But they basically skipped that set in this wave because it would be so similar to this set with the silver and blue Daleks. But we will get the Evil of the Daleks set probably later this year. And if I were to guess, I'd imagine that one would be, you've got to have that black Dalek leader, Emperor's Guard, the black dome. And what I think would be really cool is one of these, but with the pupil, because if you didn't know, that's a missing story, but there are kind of screen grabs of a silver and blue Dalek like this, but with the black pupil, that debuted on all of the Daleks in the 70s. That would be a really nice set, I think, so that's my prediction for that. Yeah, I just love these boxes though, they're so tailored to collectors. You've got History of the Daleks 5, collector figure set, you got the Power of the Daleks 1996, a huge kind of blurb describing the story, and then behind the scenes stuff of the Daleks props, which reminds me of the Daleks 6388 website, which is a tremendous source of information that I've read before. Maybe they've used this as reference, I'm not sure. And then you've got some lovely pictures of both Daleks there. And the next set is the aforementioned Day of the Daleks set from 1972, which was a John Pertwee story, which was kind of the return of the Daleks after they supposedly died in evil. So we've got the lovely shiny badge here, History of the Daleks 7. This one just really popped out to me on the shelf when I first saw there were a few of them, and I know lots of people are after these because they look really gorgeous, the paint jobs. We've had this Gold Supreme Dalek loads, but they never seem to manage to get it right, and I think they finally have. So the previous release of this was kind of a yellowy matte gold. I'm not sure if the eye was correct there. At one point it had the wrong lights, but the main issue was that the neck grid here was painted black, where in fact on this prop it was gold, it was just all gold, and we finally got a release of that that's accurate. Also the ball joint for the plunger used to be gold as well, and that's now the accurate silver. But overall the shade of gold and the fact that it's lovely and shiny and metallic just makes it look a hell of a lot better. And on the bottom here of the base, you can see they've actually coloured the top of the base gold, which is awesome detail. But perhaps even more desirable is this gunmetal grey drone Dalek. Now, we've kind of had these released before, but they've never managed to get the right kind of metallic effect. But this just looks gorgeous. It's a really deep gunmetal grey. I actually saw one of these in person at the Doctor Who Experience, one of the This Planet Earth replicas, and it's got to be one of my favourite Dalek designs. It just looks so military and awesome. You've got the silver ball joint once again, leading up the plunger, where it's mostly just done in this dark metallic grey, which really kind of shines. I hope you can see it there, because it is a dark colour. And once again, we'll spin the box around. You've got beautiful pictures of both Daleks here, which are brand new. You've got Day of the Daleks, blurb, you can pause that and read it if you wish, and then behind the scenes stuff on the Daleks once more, which is really appreciated. You can really tell that these are aimed towards collectors. I think this might just be my favourite one. It's great to come out of the black and white 60s era and finally have further Daleks. I just hope that the wave kind of lives on all the way to the new series, and hopefully we can get, metallic paradigm Daleks would be awesome, officially from character. So the hunt is finally over. Hopefully you enjoyed that look at the 2 History of the Daleks sets, and hopefully you got some entertainment out of my quest for these sets around the country. And I wish anyone else the best of luck in trying to find these, and hope they do. It's only fair that everyone kind of has the chance to get them. But nonetheless, they seem to be selling really well, so that bodes well for the future of, classic Doctor Who collectibles. Yeah, so I know this was a different type of video, not usually what's on the channel because I haven't done a Doctor Who video yet. I do intend to do some in the future. It's just something that I'm very cautious about due to certain opinions regarding Doctor Who at the minute. And I want to say a big thanks to the Doctor Who merchandise website and some of the helpful users on there who helped me track down these and, just kind of looking out for each other and helping each other with this, which, they really don't need to do. It's very nice of them. But regardless, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll get around to doing some proper Doctor Who content at some point. And if you haven't already, check out some of my other videos on the channel, which you just might happen to enjoy. Thank you all for joining me on this journey, and I wish you the best of luck in trying to find these sets for yourselves. And if you don't collect them, hopefully you enjoy watching me in my struggles. That's all from me, and I'll see you next time.
$12 midnight.
I believe I have been possessed by the spirit of Trinity Fraud.